Hello everyone. Good morning, good afternoon. We'll just give a couple of minutes more for people to join, then we'll start. Let's start off. Uh, right. Thanks everyone for making it for today's webinar. I'm Krishna from Unbox Customer Success team. I'm happy to welcome you all to be part of this webinar. And it's equally exciting for me to actually virtually meet people. It's been a long time since we all are locked down. And it's very important to have at least meeting few humans, at least in the virtual world. I'm happy about that and welcoming you all for the webinar. And also, I'm taking this opportunity to welcome Jessie Chu from Sanity Australia. Hey,
Hi,
Jessie.
Krish. Hi, everyone.
Thanks a lot. And Jessie, uh, just to give a quick heads up on what Jessie is a person I would call a veteran in the e-commerce field, uh, who started a career too early in the e-commerce from the retail store, facing people, and just like a dot-com burst happened in the tech world, we all moved to the e-commerce online. And Jessie is a person who was there in the brick and mortar store, transferring from a brick and mortar store to online. And as you speak right now, Jessie is managing the e-commerce and social media for Sanity.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah. And Jessie, I would like you to give a quick intro about yourself. What you do in Sanity, what is Sanity does, just for our audience.
Yeah, sure. Well, first, thank you, Krish and everyone at Unbox for having me around. So I've been at Sanity for about 17 years now. I started out in the retail store back when I was a student, and I worked part-time as a team member in store. Then I moved to different roles within the Sanity business, and really found my calling when I started working in the e-commerce department about 9 years ago. So now at the moment, I am the e-commerce and social media manager. So my role is to drive traffic, sales and growth, whether it be on site through UX, SEO, products and data, or external channels, including Google, social media and more. And I have a huge hand in a lot of different projects at Sanity as well. So a lot of my day-to-days are very different.
Oh, like 17 years, actually, Jessie. When I was in school, maybe, right? I'll never know. But experience talks, right? And I'm really happy to host you, Jessie, like a person who's very relevant for the current trend where you were in the retail store. From there, you move to a e-commerce. Right now, as you speak, you are handling the e-commerce and social media, right? Now, currently, when you see data, or let's say on the user behavior, right, can be, you can call it a retail versus e-commerce or e-commerce versus retail. what do you think is a key differential factor which is helping you close faster, or I would say helping you make a purchase easier and faster?
Yeah, so obviously I have seen a lot and experienced a lot of big changes in my time. And it's funny because when I find myself reflecting back on the ideas and thoughts from my first year in the e-commerce world are still very applicable to now. So when I first started in the business, obviously there was not really a big thing like an e-commerce store. So everything was about physical copies. My store, we sell media, home entertainment media, so CDs and DVDs. So you can imagine the home entertainment space has really changed in the last 10 years. You think about legal and illegal streaming content, it's really changed the way we do things. So as an online business, I'm sure everyone knows timeliness and product offering is absolutely key. And the online business has actually, I think we've been doing quite well. We've continued to increase our key metrics, even though some may consider that we're in a dying industry. COVID has really helped us and gained a lot of new customers because we've taken the opportunity to help people realize that Sanity is a great place for home entertainment products. So when I mentioned timeliness and product offering before, like we've really learned that positioning the business at the right time in the right channels with your online customer can really get you the results that you're looking for. So just briefly, like when COVID was a fresh and a really big thing in Australia back in March, April of last year, our team, though we are marketers, we were watching the news with all eyes, all ears, every day to make sure that we were positioning ourselves as a solution to the anxiety and nervousness in the market. We'd keep an eye on lockdown news, and if we felt that something was about to break, we were there to make sure that we were offering customers a positive avenue and a positive solution to what's happening.
All right. No, and I would surely agree with that here, but I think because of lockdown, because of the pandemic, we also see a trend of people shifting towards the entertainment, be it offline, online, right? Where people had more time to spend at home, so why not, right? And I would say I don't think your industry is a niche industry, but it's like Amazon, right? Anyone in the world would have at least been read some novels, watched few movies, bought some pop vinyls, anything, right? So even starting from a kids to a 70-year-old, I think you have a catalog catering to everyone there. But having said that, see, I still believe there's one key differential point when it comes to offline and online, wherein people still, even if you have an online presence, I would still love to go to a brick and mortar store because there's a human connection, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
someone who will come and ask you, and how may I help you? What are you looking for? But do you think is there a sticky aspect which is favoring the offline stores?
Well, look, I remember the days when you were in store and you had to greet the customer within the first minute of them arriving, whether that's a simple smile, a nod, just some kind of acknowledgement of their presence and just making them feel welcome in their store. And I also remember trying to keep tabs of how long each customer has been in store, how long it's been since you've acknowledged them, and making that connection with them. Because Sanity retail stores, we had this really big thing about making connections with customers. So it was about going further than asking, how are you? What can I help you with? But it was also asking them things like, oh, I see you've got this in your hand. Have you ever tried this as well? This would be really interesting for you. So I remember this one customer where I remember she bought a movie DVD and we talked and we bonded over it so much. She took all of my recommendations and purchasing a massive 14 other DVDs. So it really helps when you have good product knowledge. But I felt really proud and happy, not because I achieved a sales KPI so easily from that one customer, but it was because I had that genuine connection with someone and she trusted in what I recommended her. And I think building on what you're saying, that experience is something that's really quite difficult to replicate online, because nothing online can ever replace a friendly smile or a giggle at a joke or a warm handshake, you know?
Yeah. But yeah, so but talking about that, right? So obviously, as humanly connection does make a huge, very huge difference, be it in the e-commerce or any industry for that matter, right? You are in a store, or any human would love to get uh, even a smile, or even to know him. Basically, if you say the industry goes by know your customer, right? If you know your customer, you'd exactly know what to cater to him, and that in turn will help you to tap the potential of the customer as well, right? But yeah,
Absolutely.
right. So, but if you see the tectonic shift which is happening in the e-commerce, I'm sure you have seen the shift in the last 10 years, right? Now,
Yep.
previously, the offline stores were contributing more to the revenue, but right now, as we speak, I think over the last 10 years, from a 5 to 6% of the whole contribution, the e-commerce is pushing hard to 20-25% right now as we speak in the last year. And I should not be thanking the code for that, but it's a shift in the pattern wherein people are convenient. It's a factor of convenience, but that also puts a lot of pressure on a merchandiser or e-commerce manager like you, wherein
Mm.
can I bring in a personalized concierge experience for my users, wherein if I'm searching for something, can I mimic the offline experience of bringing that personalized element to the online, which makes either the active search or the passive search smooth, right? So what did you think about it, Jesse? And what is Sandy doing about that?
Yeah, I can definitely see over the last few years in particular that personalization and developing that humanistic connection online um, is definitely real and something that every website must be doing. But it is very complex, and I think it can be a little overwhelming. But if we can just ensure we're doing simple things like addressing a person by their name or showing them recommendations based on an item that they've viewed, or having a look at the copy that you've got when a customer finishes placing an order and personalizing it to that. And I think kind of just to put it into context, in a business like Sanity, driving optimal search results is really critical for personalization. So over half of our traffic uses our search function at the moment. And to make things even more complex, our catalog is hundreds of thousands strong with multitudes of variations and issues like fictional words, musicians who like to use special characters in their album names, or brands where there are hundreds of products available, but each has a different level of importance based on timing. So let's say something like the Avengers DVD, where the Avengers DVD now isn't as important as potentially a new Avengers figurine, which has just been released for collectors.
Right.
So it became really evident that a search solution like Unboxed, what we're using, was really necessary to try and leverage and mimic the in-store search and the personalization there. So when we use Unbox and the AI, as well as simple functions like redirects or merchandising, we've been able to customize results for search terms based on time periods, which is something that an actual salesperson would do. Then once mastering that first contact between Sanity and the customer, we looked at integrating recommendations with Unboxed as well to try and replicate that customer connection. Like, would you also like, or I know that if you're looking at this comedy DVD, I know that you'll be really interested in this as well. And I think furthermore, we spent a few months A/B testing with Unboxed, right? Testing different recommendations, algorithms, and looking at the machine learning and how all the different algorithms can translate to how well it engages with our customers. And it's really pleasing to say that we've attained over 30% increase in our calculated revenue just by passively displaying other products and PDPs.
But yeah, see, as we are on talking about the site search and recommendations, right? So since you are handling the whole thing, I think you are the best person to ask this question, right? So when was it eureka moment for you when you realized that, okay, I should start putting strategies for the site search and recommendations?
Well, I think we started engaging with about 3 or 4 search vendors for about a year before we
Mhm,
signed on with you guys in 2019.
mhm,
And I think the real key for me was experiencing myself on the front lines when I was trying to search for something for a customer, and I would search for something like AC/DC, or one word movies like The Queen. And for you guys who are technological there, I'm
mhm.
sure you can understand all of the complexities around that.
Yeah,
But like, I could never replicate the same experience for a customer online, as if, you know, they were in store talking to me, because I know that AC/DC is AC/DC.
yeah, right. True. But see, I'm really sure that to introduce you as a customer, I'm pretty sure that you're a happy customer for me, because we are serving a solution for the problem. But from you, in terms of key metrics, right?
Mhm.
How was the last 3 years of using Unbox for you? How's the journey for you?
I think the most pleasing metric to see, and I think probably one of the most important, and this is before sales and before margin, it's
Mhm.
about the number of search refinements.
Yeah.
We've seen this number halve in the last 3 years. So I think it's really good to know how much we have affected the customer experience, that half of their search experiences have improved. They don't need to refine anymore. It's far less clicks for them.
Right. But equally, right, as a metrics, there's one more flip side to that. So since you're handling the e-commerce and social media, you'll be the first person to hear the customer feedbacks, right? You see?
Yeah.
Right. So from the feedbacks, or from can be from your experience as well, from your team's experience, how's the experience of the whole website changed? Is it? I'm sure it's in a better way, but in what ways?
I believe the website, like all websites, we're a work in progress. So I don't feel that we're quite there yet, but we're adopting a learning recommendations and a
Mhm,
learning search solution. So it gives us a really strong foundation to work from. But
mhm.
definitely, yes, big wins like fewer customer emails, fewer live chats about how to find something simple on the website is an amazing result by not only removing frustration away from our customers, but
Mhm.
also from our team, because it gives them more time to concentrate on either more complex issues or start intrusively asking them, how are you, and how they can build that customer connection online as well.
Right. So when which again brings to the topic of the day, the modernization, right? So that's what it's driving towards, right?
Mm,
But if you see the whole share of e-commerce in just last 1 year can be, you can call it during the COVID, the pandemic time, right? Just in a year, we saw about a 44% jump in the e-commerce share in the whole retail spectrum, right? But if you see that's also driving more e-commerce managers like you, more merchandisers to use a smart or a good product discovery tools or recommendations tools to make sure they also give a very personalized and seamless experience for the shoppers online, right?
yep.
Now, talking on that, I know Sanity is on a right path to imitate whatever you. I'm sure since you are driving the conversation, right? You were there in the retail stores before. I'm sure the first thing you would do is to mimic whatever was happening in the retail store. Can be a, let's say if I'm at a specific section, let's say I'm in a AC/DC section, right?
Mm.
For let's say I'm figuring out for like 3-4 minutes. I'm sure you'll take the opportunity. It can be a signal for you, saying, okay, I'm in the right category, but I don't know what to buy.
Yep.
So knowing that, since the topic is on modernization, what is there on the cards of Sanity, which is in the terms of modernization? What's your plan?
There are 2 methods in our roadmap at the moment that I'm looking to forward with. And we're looking at these 2 paths as one intrusive and one passive. So for the passive experience, we're looking to expand our use of machine learning powered recommendations on other parts of the website. So delivering both a personalized experience as well as upselling and educating customers on new product lines or in related formats that they potentially haven't considered before.
Yeah.
So for example, if you, Krish, came to our website and you shopped for something within our puzzles category, we might be recommending you items from that puzzles brand that you were looking at, but maybe a puzzles mat. Or if you were looking at something within the Wonder Woman brand, perhaps we would then look at recommending you the Wonder Woman DVD or the soundtrack or a collectible figurine. For the intrusive side, we believe that we can kind of deliver that hi, how are you, bricks and mortar kind of conversational connection in our website through adopting targeted chats with customers on the website. So this is where we have a live chat system. We monitor customer behavior in real time. We look at the pages that they are on, how long they've been on, and other behavioral triggers. And we decide, okay, this customer could really use some intervention, saying, hi, how are you? Or was there something that I could explain further about this product for you? Now, of course, both of these are really phased approaches, but I think together they work hand in hand to lift the overall connection that we build with every type of customer visiting the Sanity website.
Right. I mean, that's really cool, right? I know the path is right, but I just want to also understand from you that are you trying to mimic the offline to online? In most of the time, it is, right. That's what
Yeah,
you're
absolutely.
trying to do. Yeah.
Absolutely. So if you, like you said, Krish, if you were in the music section and you were stuck looking at something, we might recognize that you have been there for more than 2 minutes, 3 minutes, whatever it may be. And we will intervene, we'll pop up on the screen and we'll say, hey, how are you? Was there something that I could help you with or something that you're looking for that you can't find?
Right. And by the way, I'm an Iron Man fan, and next time you know what to show to me in recommendations, right?
Correct.
Right. Yeah. So again, right. Again, topic of the hour. There are a lot of things, talks happening. There are a lot of products getting discovered in the stream of AI ML, right? Which also brings down to a point that data, and the data is leading to understanding the customer affinities, customer journeys, or the experience. Right? Who's the customer, from where he is coming to your website, through which medium, right? What is he doing in the current website? Is he buying something? Is he on a current PDP? And can I customize my experience or the listing of the products or recommendations, understanding him, which again brings down to a point wherein, okay, are we leveraging the AI ML in the right way? If you are, and what is your take on AI ML in the e-commerce?
Yeah, AI and ML definitely helps us to analyze and understand the big data. And again, like I said at the beginning, it helps us with timeliness and foundations quickly, because the Unbox e-commerce suite is definitely AI and ML adopted into that suite. So for example, when a customer searches for something, obviously I don't have a team here to analyze every search term in real time and amend every result that comes up. So it helps us stay on top of what I believe is the bare minimum for personalization. And then I think on top of that, you got to kind of look at, okay, you're staying on top of the bare minimum, but we still need to add in that humanistic touch. AI and ML can't be replacing everything that we know and what we do. So we've got to go through, use our team here and leverage the data that we know that has been made so much more simpler. Add that human touch to it to make it understandable and make sure it is relatable to our customers.
Right. Oh, I'm totally with you on that. Right? I'm 100%. You are on the point now. Yeah, you rightly mentioned saying AI ML is not going to take away the jobs. It is going to make people even more smarter, right? You have right now you have a huge spectrum of data, but through AI ML, you'll exactly know what aspect of data should be looking into, right? That's the whole point.
Yeah,
Now,
absolutely.
yeah, if you see the whole discussion, like we were talking about how there was a tectonic shift from an offline to online, and even in online, uh, first the options were to give a user to search for something and find a product. It can be a product discovery on a larger note, but on the next step, what we were also the shift was to, can I make the search more contextual, right? Can I bring in or understand the intent of the search and show them not just the content, also understand the intent and show him what he is actually looking for, right? Which makes it more personalized. And if you frankly ask me, Jesse, one key takeaway for me in the entire discussion for me will be human connection is what it matters, be it in online and offline. And if any e-commerce site, if they can mimic or we can replicate what they are, see, every other brand will have their own form of connecting with customer, right? So some of them will be very active, some of them will be based on the feedback they reach out to them. But if you ask me net, if you can mimic the human connection element which we love when we go to a store in the online, that's going to make any shopping website, any e-commerce site very more personalized, and it'll also bring in more stickiness to the website. I'll be a repeat customer, or anyone would love to really come to your website and see what's going on there, even if I don't buy. I would love the experience, right? Shopping is
Yeah,
all about experience.
yeah,
But
absolutely.
from you, Jesse, what is the one key takeaway you want our audience to take from this conversation, which they can apply or they can even improve what they're doing right now in the path of modernization?
Um, I think that's a two-part question. I think the first thing is to absolutely, yes, leverage AI and ML to help you, I guess, for lack of a better phrase, but just kind of get your head above the water. There is no
Mhm.
way that you can analyze all that big data
Yeah.
in efficient process or in a timely manner
Mhm.
for you to adopt strategies to connect with your customer on the website. But I think furthermore, AI and ML is not the only answer. I think a lot of us need to still ask ourselves what we're doing. Is it right for our customers? Or
Mhm.
if you were to make a decision based on these reports or this kind of data, how does it apply to your customers? And is it in their genuine best interest? That would be
Right.
my key takeaway.
Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. So we have a couple of attendees in session. So the floor is open now for the questions. So uh, if you have any questions, you can drop in the chat or in the Q&A, and I'll have it answered by Jesse for you.
Um, I can see a question from Abhishek
Mhm.
here. Our key customer experience metrics in ecom. So with customer experience metrics, we use obviously live chat, which I've alluded to quite a few times.
Mhm.
Calculated revenue and conversion rate, yes, but also we use heavily Hotjar surveys to
Right.
get that qualitative feedback. Yeah.
I hope Abhishek that answered the question. But yeah, key metrics, it depends on the vertical as well, right? So for you, it can be this metric, and for someone else, the metrics can be, if I am giving the right results of what they're looking for, or am I showing the right recommendations, and am I taking the traffic from a just the traffic to a meaningful conversion. It can be even on a results page to a product page, right? So the sale happens, it's a derivative of the whole thing, right? It depends on multiple factors. If I like the
Absolutely.
product, if I like the color, if I like the manufacturer, if it's available in stock, multiple things, right? Am I taking him to a page where he can do a transaction? That can be also key metrics in some e-commerce players.
Yeah.
Any other question? And you have a right master blaster to answer that, and don't miss that.
Bridging the gap between online and offline retail, in the sense of service, Abhishek, like I mentioned about how we're trying to use our intrusive and passive methods. Yeah. Okay. So like I was mentioning before, the recommendations and personalization that we rely on AI and ML to help our website connect to the customer as a basis. Passively, yes, that would be one way, but then the intrusive manner of having manual intervention within a customer journey through a behavior triggered chat is also the other way that we would be looking to bridge the experience, to kind of combine the two so they are as similar as we can get. Oh, thank you, Grace. That's very kind of you.
But Grace, if you heard the conversation, next time you see something, don't go to offline store, go to your online store. She'll be more than happy, right?
I'm always happy to help whoever it is.
Yeah, you'll see the same warmth and same welcome in the online as well. Industry is that, so yes.
Yeah, no, but Grace raises a really great point about seeing something posted on social media and that attracting that customer to see the store, and that helps really bring that omni-channel strategy all together, right? So the customer that you're speaking to online is also the same customer that you see face-to-face in our retail store.
And it's just like what your billboard is for the retail, that's social media for the e-commerce, right?
Yeah.
That's how it is. It's your omni-channel, guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think in the interest of time, I would ask my attendees to drop questions you have. We'll take it offline. Either me or Jesse or someone from a team will get back to you with the questions. But thanks a lot, Jesse. Thanks for taking up your time during the busy schedule for us. And thanks for everyone for making it. We made it through the great pandemic of the history I've ever seen. And now we are part of the history. And I'm equally happy to see you all after a long time. Even if it's virtual, it's really happy for me as well. Thanks a lot, Jesse.
Thanks, everybody.